Go ahead and start with the bow. Try that with feet together. There you go. Good. And we have a recital coming up. Any idea what you'd like to play?
Tell her what you want to play.
Yeah, tell me what you want to play. Oh, I remember this from before vacation. You want to play Minuet 3. Okay, is it ready today? Because we only have a couple of weeks.
Well, it's funny, after he told me he wanted to play it, then yesterday he had one of the hardest times he had with it. So I don't know.
You put too much pressure on yourself, probably. So, you know what? Here's the deal. Relax. I'm a teacher. I can kind of tell how it should be. Whether or not it goes as well as it ever has in lesson right now. So can you just relax and play that piece for me? Been very hard at work over the break. Good for you. So all the notes in the bowing, as in the fingers are going down in the right place, the right string at the right time, and the bowing is correct. You had a couple of little things which you always knew when you were off and you fixed it. So very nice job. I really liked the fact there was no evidence of Pizza Head ever having been part of your life. That's great. And your bow hold looked more in control as well. Okay. Now what do you think needs to be fixed on this before this recital ready?
No.
Okay, let's ask your mom. Any ideas?
Intonation.
Yep.
And then more confidence, so it's stronger, probably like a heavier bow.
Yeah, or a better tone.
Better tone, that's what
yes.
it is, yeah.
So these two things I feel are connected. What I saw in your playing was I know Mrs. Carpenter lets me play this for the recital, and I'm so tight that now I'm playing out of tune and I'm playing quietly. Okay? That's what I heard, because I know that you can play in tune, but when you're thinking about notes and bowings, your ears tend to forget to listen. Right? We've talked about this many, many times, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But you also know you can fix it. So let's just find the first note. Because I think that first note's a tune. Fix it. Good. Now, do you remember our ringers? Listen. Here we go. Listen. Do you hear a ring? Okay. Tell me which finger's out of tune. Was it your third finger, or did we have nice ringers? There's lots of ringers in this piece. I heard really great ringers off that third finger. How about first finger? Was he in tune?
Not that much.
Okay, how about second finger? No, it's really the second finger I'm concerned about. Okay, so let's try that much again. And I want you to focus on the second finger. And go ahead and, the one adjustment I want you to make is you've got just a little high here with your thumb. You're doing a nice come around so your thumb doesn't have to be that high. Find that first note, make it ring. Aha. Okay. Good, now let's do one time. Okay. Better. Go on. Good, that was a good one. Was that better in Chip?
Yeah.
Good. Now can you release? You're really clutching the instrument today. Can you bring this thumb down a little bit? Remember we need a little hole there? We talked about the hole.
Did you do something with that? Were you gonna print it?
No, I didn't print it, sorry. Gotta get just the right animal here. All right, frog time. So we need a frog space there. Don't squash the frog. So the trick here is that we're just going to subtly bring the hand around, okay? Good, now try it again. You're still a little high, everything. Good, now rest position. And I'm going to show you what finger pattern you're playing, okay? Come on over here. Okay, right, two's upside down. Is that the right finger pattern for the A string?
No.
No. What would you change to make this correct for Minuet 3?
It would go 3, 1, 2.
Well, no, I'm talking about the spacing. Is the spacing right? Are they all equal distance apart?
No.
No. What should it look like?
It should look like.
These two are correct. Once you, if you take the time to put them in. Where should the two be?
Right here.
That. Okay. Does that make sense? And I think that's because you're playing very consistently and well this way. I think with even spacing, I think that seeing it maybe would help. Now, where do we start in the first few pieces of this book? Where was the two? And where is it on the D string of Minuet 3? Where should the two be between this one and 3?
The high one.
Yeah, where though? How far? How high should it be?
Right here.
Right there. Ah, does it make a little more sense now? So you have created your own little system here. And that's where we're getting at too. So these two are correct. This is never valid. Nuts, huh? So you're playing a schnarp there. So can you play the beginning again and think about the 3 and the 2, I'm sorry, the 3 and the 1 and the 2 being really close together. And just make sure the 3 doesn't come down to visit. He likes to do that sometimes. There you go. Good, but then when you go to the D string, what happens?
It goes closer to the 3.
Goes right next to the 3, not just closer, touching. Are those 2s in tune? No. Let's try it again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now you're really starting to panic here. Bring this up around. Slow down. Take your time. Yes! Good. You went too far with that side, yeah, good, try that much again. Now, fix your nice vocal. There you go. Try that much again, now you feel the difference, don't you? Try it again. It's alright, I'm not worried about the notes here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, do all these out of tune notes make a little more sense? Good. So, let's just go back to Minuet 1 really quickly with this in mind and see if we can play that in tune, okay? Yes, that changes it. High or low? Da, da, C sharp. Take it from good. Da, 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 da. Just go to C natural. Now, all of a sudden you're adding those luscious slurs because you work so hard and then you have to break. And that happens. So that was better. Now let's do a G major 2-octave scale. And on the first 2 strings you have to cozy these 2. On the second 2 strings you have to cozy 1 and 2. Okay? So start with the open G and see if we can get that in tune. Good, try it again. Very good and rest position, much better. I feel like, Oliver, we learn intonation on every piece. And you just sort of figure it out on every piece until magically you're not quite clear what makes it happen, but one day your mom and I say, hey, that was in tune. And, okay, I guess right, I got it. But intonation is, it can't be that way or you're just going to go nuts because there's so many notes to learn. Okay? So for example, if you look at this piece I'm working on, because some of my advanced students have to learn it for Institute, so I get to learn it. It's just doesn't happen to be one that I've played. Is that a lot of notes?
Yes.
Yes, it's an enormous amount of notes. I can't possibly learn every single one of those individually, intonation-wise, can I? So what ends up happening is there tends to be 1 or 2 that give me problems because of the notes before or after. For example, I play my B flat with the 4th finger on the D string. I very rarely do that, but it's important for this piece, so I'm really practicing that. It's kind of a new note. I don't usually do that note there. But the rest of them generally are in tune because I know where a D is, and I know where C natural is, and I know where C sharp is, and those don't change. No matter what piece it is, a 2nd finger on the A that's a C sharp should always feel the same. Does that make sense? So let's do that scale again. And I want you to really think about where each one of your fingers is. So we're going to do it this way. So you can really think, okay? Ready? Let's start together. Ready, go. There it is. I'm going to stop this because we had to adjust that first finger. So we're going to do those 4 notes again. Ready? Go.